Where's the popcorn?
Hi, everyone. I would ask everyone to stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I'm going to call the meeting to order. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Mara, do you mind taking a roll call? Councilmember Billy?
Here.
Councilmember Ash McPherson?
Here.
Councilmember Steele? Councilmember Cummings?
Present.
Councilmember Zaluski?
Here.
Councilmember McDermott? Here. Council President Mantello? Here. 7 present, none absent. All right, we'll get right into the regular meeting.
Motion to dispense with the reading of the minutes of the organizational meeting of January 2nd, 2020, and approve as posted.
Thank you. I will ask a presentation of the agenda. I'll go through that very quick. No local laws, no ordinances. There are 4 resolutions, and I would open it up to the public now. You have 7 minutes. Please come to the podium, state your name and address. Just to inform you, you can talk about anything on the agenda and or anything going on your street, your community, whatever you'd like to discuss. Thank you.
Where you went.
Oh, just name and address. Thank you. Charge.
My name is Erica Latham. I live at 212 3rd Street here in Troy.
Is that on? Yeah, I think so.
Yes.
Oh, you can, okay.
Erica,
Latham,
thank you.
Leathem.
Thank you.
I have been a resident of Troy my whole life. My grandparents and their parents lived in South Troy their whole lives. As they would say, they lived on the right side of the canal, whatever that is. I have had the pleasure of knowing Ms. McDermott since we were in grade school. And as soon as I heard about this issue, I offered to speak on her behalf and hopefully make an appeal for logic. Sarah has been marshal for 4 years and is the first and only female to hold this position, as we know. Her experience and prowess in this position make the transitions for families smoother, and her compassion and empathy has been noted with all that she has been involved with. She has letters upon letters of reference and has had 0 issues with the court. There have been no complaints actually filed against her. The rapport she has built in this city is unparalleled, and so I ask you, is a political label worth getting in the way of the efficiency of the people whose boots are actually on the ground doing this work? Is it worth destroying the confidence landlords have in this process due to Sarah's hard work over the last 4 years? And actually, I didn't grow up in Troy my whole life. I moved away to a picturesque city in Colorado for college, and I was proud to move back home because of our focus on diversity, inclusion, democratic values, and frankly, a scrappiness that Troy has that has glued our community together for generations. As a gay woman who votes Democrat, I will be indescribably disappointed if the best person for the job is unemployed tomorrow because of who she happens to vote for. I would like to leave with a couple last questions. And be honest with yourselves. Would you take a man out of this role under the same circumstances? What is objectively best for this city that we love? Are you willing to lose the confidence and respect of the people you serve for a minor political win? It is important that a woman is appointed marshal. It's more important to this city that this woman remains marshal. Please show me that the city I love and believe in can do a non-political thing, the efficient thing, the right thing, and keep Sarah McDermott as marshal. Thank you.
Thank you, Erica. Would anyone else like to come up and speak on any item on the agenda or anything going on in your neighborhood?
Seamus Donnelly, 146 3rd Street. So first off, a couple things in regard to the city marshal issue. Maybe I'm a little biased, but First, what I'd like to say is I think that it's absolutely absurd to hear the District 3 council person talk about the qualifications of Sarah McDermott from 4 years ago. You know, you can talk about deadlines that the Democratic Party had throughout this process. That's irrelevant. What is relevant is the clear, day that she's driven families that are being evicted away. She's rescued dogs. None of this is going to change your mind. You know what I mean? We all get how this works. You know, at least again, somebody finally kind of owned up to it instead of saying this is about application deadlines or any of the stuff that you guys always run back to. So, you know, if you want to talk about, it is what it is. You guys have the majority. This was a move that you were going to do. At least be honest, like Councilman Gully said. Don't talk about she wasn't qualified 4 years ago, because she has thousands of tenants, landlords, the like, that will tell you otherwise. I doubt you interviewed landlords and people that go through the process, any of that kind of stuff. We know you already had your mind up. So to say that you are contributing to the circus, you are saying that everybody else is doing. So really, if you're serious about being, honest in your position here, be honest. Say what it is. Don't blame it on this other stuff. That's ridiculous. And I'm no lawyer, but the way the charter spells it out, it seems pretty clear that the marshals have a 2-year term. To me, the or would kick in if somebody passes away, gets removed, any of those situations. So the fact that you guys would go through all this trouble to kick somebody out that's doing such a great job. Other council people have said what a great job they've done. Councilman Zalewski has said it plenty of times, So to all of a sudden do this, it's a shame. And unfortunately, it doesn't stop here. You're setting a tone of how this term will go. So again, don't say that somebody's unqualified. Don't talk about disparaging remarks when you're the ones creating the chaos. This could have been easy. You both could have been bipartisan and said, hey, you keep one McDermott and you get another McDermott. Let's be honest. And then we could have got to fixing our parks, all the stuff that we care about, different things, okay? And I know, Councilwoman, you're rolling your eyes, but parks are important to people. So that's my only thing. That's what, Councilmember Steele, yeah. So,
Mr. Conley, you have the floor, but please.
Yeah, oh, definitely. I'm just reacting to that. So that's all I'm trying to say is, try to carry yourselves in an honest way for the people, just that's all, seriously.
Thank you. Would anyone else like to speak on any item on the agenda, or what's going on in your neighborhood, or what's going on with the fire department? Hi, Eric.
Hello, Eric Wisher, 30 Fairfield Road, President Troy Uniform Firefighters. We had a rather large fire the other day. You spoke about affecting Deborah Garrett. I'd just like to quote one of the chief's comments that said this could have been a disaster. You know what would have made it a disaster? Showing up with 7 less guys if the ambulances were out. Every rig was on duty. Every rig was in its right place. If we would have had half the amount of guys on the roof on that type of fire, wouldn't have got done. Things would have turned to a disaster. The issue needs to be addressed. This is the good side of it, right? Everything was on duty, and we've seen the bad side of it when, the bowling alley and that stuff, when only 8 guys showed up. So we hopefully that this council can address the issue of staffing the rigs and go from there. Thank you.
Well done, Eric.
Thank you.
Job well done. Please let your folks know,
We will.
on behalf of the full city council, phenomenal job. Thank you. Would anyone else like to speak on any item on the agenda or what's happening with the Troy Police Department? Hi.
Hi, everybody. Nick Laviano, 31 Kinlock, Troy PBA president. I just want to wish you guys all the best of luck in your coming term. I know most of you, especially Mr. Gully, who's buried in his phone, maybe looking at his golf score down there. So you never know. You might make a Florida trip here and there. So to Sue and Eileen, you're the new incumbents here. I haven't met you yet formally. I look forward to working with all of you into the future for the next 2 years. I ran unopposed last time, so you got me for 2 years. I'm sure the mayor and deputy mayor really love that. They also cringe every time I come up to the microphone, but for once they won't have to. So I wish you guys the best of luck in your next 2 years.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Nick. And for the record, the deputy mayor did not cringe, and I don't think the mayor did either, Nikki. Would anyone else like to speak on any item on the agenda or anything going on in your neighborhood? Okay. Going once, we will close the public forum. Go into local laws. I see none. Go into ordinances. None. Mara, resolution 13.
Resolution authorizing the execution of an agreement by and between the City of Troy and MXI. Council President Mantello at the request of the administration.
Do I have a motion?
I'll make a motion.
Motion, Councilmember Zaluski. Do I have a second? Second. Second, Councilmember Steele. Discussion? Just so folks are aware, it did pass our finance. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Resolution 13 passes 7 ayes, 0 noes.
Thank you, Mara. Resolution 14.
Resolution appointing Commissioners of Deeds for the City of Troy. Council President Mantello.
Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Motion, Councilmember Steele. Do I have a second? Second. Second, Councilmember McDermott. Discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Resolution 14 passes 6 ayes, 0 noes, and 1 abstention.
Sorry. Resolution 15. That is no. Resolution 16.
Resolution appointing a successor marshal of the Troy City Court, Councilmember Zaluski, Councilmember Steele, Councilmember Cummings, Councilmember McDermott.
Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Motion, Councilmember Steele. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second, Councilmember Zaluski. Discussion?
Council President,
Councilmember Ash McPherson.
I'd just like to say that during the whole course of this, it was very ugly. And I really don't want to have our 2 years going this route. So I would really appreciate if we all try to work together. As far as with Sarah McDermott, I really believe we could actually have a 6th person if you want to put another person on. Can I make an amendment to put her on as a?
You absolutely can. It's up to the council, obviously, to prescribe more than the 5 per the charter. You can make an amendment. There is an amendment on the floor to add Sarah McDermott to Resolution 16. Do we have a motion? Do we have a second?
Second.
Second, Councilmember Gully. Discussion? Take a slow roll.
Can I have clarification? So we're replacing?
No, you're adding.
No, not replacing, adding.
You're adding. The council can prescribe more than the 5.
I'd like to hear what
Sure.
we're actually doing.
Councilmember Ash McPherson is adding Sarah McDermott as an additional marshal per the city charter, which the council can prescribe more than the 5.
Council President,
Councilmember Gully.
I believe in order to do that, you would have to change the language after if it was ever approved. You would have to change the language of the resolution in order to make it legal.
Well, there's a motion on the floor. What we would do is whereas the city council wishes to add Sarah McDermott as a marshal for the Troy City Court, effective immediately for a term of 2 years. Okay?
Council President?
Yes,
Okay.
Councilmember
I'm
Zaluski.
very confused by this. In a previous meeting, you're contending that there are no marshals, and now you're saying, oh, we're appointing a 6th one. So
We have a motion, a second. I haven't voted yet.
yeah, this is I'm completely confused by it. But this is we're amending a resolution right now that is appointing a successor marshal.
Mhm.
And now you're saying that you're adding a marshal to a group that doesn't even exist.
Okay,
that's
so
what-
then I'll change it, Council President. Then we'll do
Councilmember
to
Ashman
amend,
Pearson.
to remove John Gordon and add Sarah McDermott.
Well, we already have a motion, a second on the first. Are you withdrawing your initial?
I'll withdraw the first.
Okay, so Councilmember Ash McPherson is now withdrawn. What is your motion, Councilmember Ash McPherson?
To remove John Gordon and add Sarah McDermott.
Okay, we have a motion on the floor to, I want to pull up.
Maybe we can take
The
a temporary
resolution.
council and write it if it has any legs.
We have a motion on the floor, whereby, the city council, so I take it you don't wish to replace Sarah McDermott, you wish to appoint Sarah McDermott as a marshal of the Troy City Court, instead as marshal of the Troy City Court. So we will take out, per Councilmember Ash McPherson's, motion, any, mention of John Gordon, any mention of successor, and you are stating you would like to appoint Sarah McDermott as,
Yes.
okay. So we have a motion on the floor, per that amendment. Do we have a second?
Second.
Second, Councilmember Gully, discussion. I'll take a slow roll.
Councilmember Gully,
Yes.
Councilmember Ash McPherson.
Yes.
Councilmember Steele,
So much for civility. No.
Councilmember Cummings,
Yeah.
Councilmember Cummings.
No.
Councilmember Zaluski.
No.
Councilmember McDermott,
No.
Council President Mantello.
I'm going to quickly explain my vote. It's been mentioned this evening quite a few times, circus, but then bipartisan and, the majority. Here's the deal. There will not be a circus if you allow the minority to do its business also. And please don't proclaim bipartisanship, transparency when it's no, 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 when we do try to work with you. I know that Councilmember Gully has pleaded. I know I've spoken to the pro tem, and I really, let's seriously call this for what it is. It's politics at its worst. Saying that, I vote yes.
The amendment fails, 3 ayes, 4 noes.
Okay, on the original resolution, Resolution 16, we have a motion, we have a second, discussion. I'm going to take a slow roll.
Councilmember Gully,
No.
Councilmember Ash McPherson,
No.
Councilmember Steele,
Yes.
Councilmember Cummings,
Yes.
Councilmember Zaluski.
Yes.
Councilmember McDermott,
Yes.
Council President Mantello.
I'll explain my vote quick. 5 points. One, per the charter, we have a duty to appoint. It states shall. That didn't happen. Clearly, the oath that the 5 took, their expiration is 12/31/19. That is ended. Or 10 days after the council shall appoint. Number 1, council did not appoint, did not uphold their duty. Number 2, New York State Public Officers Law, I will state again, Section 5, judicial officers, which these are, I don't know what else you would call them, there are no holdovers. They are for a term. Marshals, sorry. Number 3, it was discussed, a woman, I actually did contact a couple landlords, a couple tenants, and if you notice in one of the letters, I do believe, and if it's not in there, a few landlords actually stated they specifically requested a woman due to the sensitivity of some of the issues with that particular tenant. A woman does help situations. Sarah McDermott has proven that over the past 4 years, and stating that, certainly, my feelings on that. Number 4, the whole circus, etc. What is wanted right now by the majority is bobbleheads. Basically, agree with us, there will be no circus. We're bipartisan, but you gotta give us what we want. It doesn't work that way. Stating that, I cannot say enough about the amendment. Sarah McDermott certainly held this role with exemplary status, and stating that, in my opinion, my first 2 points, no holdovers, and the charter, per your resolution, after passing this, you will have one marshal. I will be contacting Judge Turner, and unlike your complaint that you filed, I guess, I'll be copying all of you on it and copying Mr. Caruso, that per the rules, the law, the charter, throw it out the window for you guys, but I will be informing Judge Turner. There are no marshals other than Mr. Gordon, who appears to be appointed. So I vote no.
Resolution 16 passes, 4 ayes, 3 noes.
Resolution 17.
Resolution confirming appointments to the Troy Industrial Development Authority. Council President Mantello at the request of the administration.
Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Motion, Councilmember Steele. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second, Councilmember Ash McPherson. Discussion.
Council President,
Councilmember Gully.
I believe this instance I should abstain on this vote. So last time at finance, you called it 7-0, should have been 6-0-1.
You can take that back, but don't worry. It's fine.
You don't need.
Don't worry. Don't
I
worry.
don't want anybody showing up with any pictures of me.
Okay, further discussion. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? And we have one abstain.
Council President.
Yes.
No, this is the kind of thing that bipartisanship matters in. Making sure that
Uh,
signing our
Can you use your mic?
You can use the mic.
Oh, you guys got to share too?
We do. I've been on the IDA for the last 2 years, and I look forward to serving with you, as I always look forward to serving with you on the council. It's good to have bipartisanship in the policymaking process, and look forward to working with you.
I would echo that as well.
I would love to see your, Councilmember Steele. I would love to see the IDA maybe have a couple meetings in the evening and not always morning, and hopefully a little more transparency. I hope that you can work on that. Well, that's state law. Okay, further business?
Resolution 16 passes, 6 ayes, 0 noes, 1 abstention.
Thank you, Murray. I'll take a motion to adjourn.
Motion.
Motion, everybody.
Second.
Second, everybody. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?